Overthinking your trials and tribulations is not going to help you solve your problems. Trying to rush the process with you worrying does not change where you are or what it is that you're meant to learn in the moment. Welcome back to your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance. And yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, it's not for you. Do not force it. Let it fly. But most importantly, grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over and discuss why you overthinking is unhealthy, how to stop with your overthinking, but most importantly, what to do when you feel like you have to overthink, and as well as you going through these moments of these circumstances and trials and tribulations, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, and certain things that you should be aware of. Before we get into the disclaimers, which it's similar to the first disclaimer, you have to realize that sometimes in life you're going to have control over things and sometimes you're not. Until you're able to identify what's in your control and when you have control over certain things, when you don't have control over certain things, you will feel stuck and stagnant. You will feel like you're losing your mind. You will start to have doubt and fear. You need to be aware of what's in your control and what's not. So therefore, when you have problems, when you're going through circumstances, you can make the initiative. You can take the action. You can apply what you know so you can make progress, so you can start. Depending on what it is that you're going through, it may require a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of resources. If you don't have the energy, you don't have the resources, you don't have the effort, slow your roll, pump your brakes. So many times we make our problems so much more challenging and so much more difficult than what it needs to be. This doesn't mean that in the moment that you don't have emotions, that you don't feel the way you do, that it's not an inconvenience, but it's like overthinking, worrying, stressing is going to make it worse. Panicking is going to make it worse, and it doesn't change anything. So the second thing you need to be aware of is that when you do have control over certain things, focusing on those things, educating yourself, finding ways to come up with solutions or resources. So reaching out to people and places and things for assistance, removing yourself from people and places and things who are not educating you, who are not pouring into you, and who cannot help you. So as you continue to overcome your trials and tribulations, you need to be mindful of the company that you're keeping. If you need to be isolated, or if certain people and places and things are being removed out of your life, you keep your distance. You create your boundaries. Do not allow anything or anybody who is distracting you in a negative way affect what it is that you're going through right now, what it is that you're learning, what it is that you're meant to experience, and what you need to do moving forward. So if they don't have solutions, if they haven't gone through certain things, or if they're not trying to figure it out while you're going through your season of isolation or your doubt and your fears or whatever it is you're going through, keep your distance. Because when you surround yourself with people, places, and things, and you're in a season of isolation, or you're struggling, or you're worrying, or you're panicking, they will project and deflect. And if they don't have anything positive to say, they're going to make it seem like, oh, what you're going through is deal breaking. And if it's not life and death, you will be okay. How do I know? Because you're going to live and then you're going to die. That's what you need to realize. You don't know how long you're going to live in this life. So it's like, we need to focus on the things that we have control over, and the things we don't, we'll figure that out in a second. So the third or fourth thing, what number I'm on, let me know. The third or fourth disclaimer is that when you are feeling overwhelmed and anxious, you have to allow yourself to validate those feelings. So once again, if you're driving on the road and you experience a flat tire, this does not mean that it's not going to be an inconvenience. This does not mean that you may feel emotionally or financially not well or secure yourself. This doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. This doesn't mean that you're not going to feel sad or mad or whatever. But it's like, feel how you feel in the moment. Once you identify what it is that you're feeling in the moment, once you learn how to articulate your emotions, once you stop suppressing how you feel, once you're able to express yourself, whether it's to yourself, you journal, God, ancestors, universe, take what resonates, leave the rest, because we're not here to force religious spirituality. You go to a therapist, you go to a psychiatrist, you call somebody that you trust and confide, you will calm down. You will realize, okay, I just needed a moment to relax. I just needed a moment to myself. I just needed a moment to express my anger. Once you calm down, once you relax, you can then come up with solutions. If you're driving to work and you get a flat tire, what do? You pull your car over. You call your insurance. You call somebody to tow your car. You call a coworker. You call your job. My camera got cut off because there was a ladybug. But you find a way to articulate yourself and to express yourself and to validate your emotions in the moment, because the longer you do not take the time to identify your feelings or you invalidate your feelings, that's when you become overwhelmed. That's when you start to hyperventilate. That's when you start to panic. That's when you become anxious. That's when you become depressed. That's when you self-sabotage. That's when you get sick. That's when you end up having diseases. We want to avoid those things. Validate your emotions. You have every right to feel bad. Nobody's telling you that you can't be sad. Nobody's saying that it's not an inconvenience, but it's like, realistically, just because you're feeling inconvenienced today or in a moment or even for a couple hours doesn't mean it has to linger or dwell into 2 days, 48 hours, 72 days, 72 hours, 72 years. We have to learn how to manage our emotions in the moment. And the more you practice doing that, the more you don't have to overthink. So the final recommendation, because my camera got cut off and I don't remember what I was saying and I'm not editing this, is taking time to sit with yourself when you don't have control or you don't have everything figured out. Learning to relax, learning to slow down, learning to be patient, learning to be still. If you're doing everything that you can and things are still out of your control, worrying, complaining, being upset doesn't change how you feel. Sometimes you have to stop what you're doing. Sometimes you have to take a moment to yourself. Sometimes you have to fall back. This doesn't mean that you're quitting. This doesn't mean that you give up. But it's just like, what could you do? If your bills are behind and you don't have the money to pay the bills and you don't have the assistance, what could you do? Sometimes you need to just turn your phone off, lay down. Sometimes you need to book a service and a session with me, your favorite mental health specialist. Sometimes you need to seek therapy. Sometimes you need to see a psychiatrist. Sometimes you need to confide in somebody. Sometimes you need to pray. Go to your God, ancestors, universe. Sometimes you just need to be still. Because it's like, until you know what to do, until you have the resources to do what you need to do, it's not going to change anything. The days are not going to speed up. The time is not going to go by. Sometimes you have control and sometimes you don't. And that's what you need to focus on. When you don't have control, how do you react and respond, and what do you do? So starting off with the recommendations, why do you feel anxious? Why are you so overwhelmed when you go through trials and tribulations? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know your notes. And take your time answering these questions. When you guys watch these videos, it requires you to think. It requires you to take your time. But most importantly, it requires you to be honest and vulnerable. Until you're honest and vulnerable about why you overthink and why you feel anxious, it's constantly going to live rent-free in your mind. The second recommendation is identifying, how does this make you feel? And do you feel like you should overthink and overreact? So once you figure out why you feel anxious, whether it's from trauma, what you were taught, what you were shown, maybe not having certain resources, I need you to ask yourself, is it fair for you to react and respond this way? And how is it showing up in your life? How does overthinking make you feel about yourself? What does it do for you? Once again, take your time figuring this out in the comment section and on your notes. That's the third recommendation. You have to know that when things are not going your way, you don't have to panic. You either A, are going to get instructions and directions, or B, you may have to be patient. Maybe it's best for you to just take a moment and pause and breathe. When was the last time that you breathed? When was the last time that you were able to meditate? When was the last time you took a pause? You're stressing yourself out. You're overthinking because you can't even breathe. Like, you got to work on your nervous system. And that's going to be the third recommendation. What can you do to calm yourself down? So let me know. Once again, do you calm yourself down by meditation? Do you calm yourself down by going on walks? Do you calm yourself down by resting? Do you calm yourself down by exercising, meditation, if I didn't already say that? What do we do? Because it's like, we can't continue to worry about things when it doesn't help us. It gives us headaches. It's not changing anything. If you're doing everything that you can, you have to go through it. That's it. That's all. I don't make the rules. When you go through things, how do you handle them? So lastly, when it comes to overthinking, you have to just continue to practice. This is a skill. The only reason why it seems so simple and so easy for me is because I'm recommending this video. I have overcame it. I've gone through it. And even when I have certain things in my life, I just realize what's in my control, what's not in my control. What am I doing? If I'm doing everything that I can, why worry? Because I know when I did have certain situations where they were difficult or overwhelming or whatever it was, me crying, me stressing, me being angry, it did not do anything. I mean, other than allow me to express how I feel, but it didn't change my situation. It didn't. I had to go through certain things in my life and it just took time. I didn't get to rush the time. We don't have control over time. We have control what we do with our time, but if something's meant to be, it'll be. If it doesn't, I knew personally, I'm not about to sit here and stress myself out and give myself a migraine. Like, where I'm at in my life, you guys, as I've grown older and the things that I've gone through in life, me getting a migraine, it physically hurts. Like I said, us being stressed, us being overthinkers, it causes diseases, it causes sicknesses, and I can't afford to do those things. Like, and if you took the time to realize that you being stressed out and you being anxious affects your physical health, if you really took the time, this is why I tell you to take your time, take a residency rest, you wouldn't be able to afford it either. You will realize, okay, if I'm driving to work and I get a flat tire and I have the money to fix it, yes, I may have an attitude in the moment, but let me solve my problem. If I have a bill to pay and I can't pay it on time, but the people are willing to work with me, I may have to light some candles for a day. The goal is to learn from your situations so you can stop overthinking. The goal is to learn how to trust yourself or whatever it is that you believe in. Because a lot of times too, a lot of people don't have faith. A lot of people don't believe, whether it's in a God, the ancestors, universe, Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, Jesus. Y'all don't believe. And that's why you overthink. You can't say you believe or have faith regardless of your religion or spirituality, but then you're overthinking. And I'm speaking from experience. That's not how it works. You're conflicted. You don't need to be confused when you know. Sometimes you may not know, and that's okay. Like, you got to stop being so hard on yourself. You're the only person who's making it more, like I said, complicated, unless you're surrounding yourself with people and places and things who are constantly worrying. So if you're around people and all they do is worry, you got to let them know, look, I have my own problems. If we're not able to help each other come up with solutions, I can't help you. You can't help me. Separate yourself. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel guilty. It has nothing to do with being elitist. It has nothing to do with you thinking you're better. It's just, we don't have time. We don't have time to constantly overthink our problems. We have to realize, okay, why we're going with these problems, why we're experiencing these problems, and move on. And you're always going to go through things in life, but it will become easier and less challenging once you know why. Pay attention. So as you guys are watching these videos, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't be watching these videos just to watch them. Take notes and let me know what's working so we can come up with solutions. So with that being said, I'm going to end off the video. Thank you for always liking and engaging. And thank you for always having your notifications on. I've been looking at my analytics. A lot of you guys been having your notifications on. So kudos to you for always having your notifications on so you never miss a video, because I know you don't want to miss a video because, you know, yeah, okay? And like I said, liking and engaging, and let me know what you guys want to talk about, as well as following on me, as well as following all my social media platforms, excuse me. All the information is down in the description box below. I'm not editing this, okay? I'm not. All the information is down in the description box below. Click the link in my bio if you guys want to book a service in a session. and you're ready to stop overthinking, and you want an outline and a step-by-step routine. And when you guys follow me on all my social media platforms, specifically Instagram and on TikTok, I will be going live for the rest of this month, talking to you guys, coming up with solutions, seeing what's working and what we need to do, okay? So you can get to know me and I can get to know you. But we don't have time to overthink anymore. We're either going to come up with solutions or we're going to sit still. We're either going to rest or we're going to do what we can. We're going to have control of what we have control over, or we're not. And we're going to surround ourselves with people who want to come up with solutions. If not, okay, I love you, bye.